And we're back in the Pharos for, hopefully, the next layer of Subterra. Ah, yes, we can go down to Umbra now, that's good. I was worried that this would all reset. I don't know if you have to unlock, like, the next location of Subterra by lighting up all of the pedestals, maybe. Again, I am fairly, well, I say blind, but I've looked up a lot of info on these areas. But I've never actually played them myself. Okay, there we go, that took a while to load. So yeah, so we're in Umbra rather than Penumbra. I'm guessing Penumbra is like before Umbra because like, you know, penultimate as in like the thing before ultimate. Still the same music though, and I'm assuming that that's a disease trap. Hi, Mist Mares. I am going to avoid you for now, but... Or not, because you'll teleport right in front of my path. As I was saying, I'm gonna go through this door, because I think this area should be fairly simple. Yeah, right here. So, checking my map of this place, we've got an exit, okay, to the east and also to the north. The one to the north is gonna dead end sooner, so I'm gonna check that one first. Should be somewhere along here. There we go, there's the ancient door. And that would be a... Oh, dead bones, that's new. These were the things that we were fighting in the Nebraeus Deadlands, weren't we? And there's another Necro Fiend. When your name ends with Fiend and not Phobe, that is a good thing for me. A very, very, very good thing. So yeah, that black orb, I'm gonna leave most of the black orbs for now because we're gonna be needing a lot of massive, like a lot of black orbs going forward, and I would like to collect them as a massive black orb if at all possible. So now here, if we head over here, go to this ancient door. I've noticed that some of us are running out of MP pretty quickly casting buffs. There is that item that lets you cast magic with Gil instead of MP, and I'm actually thinking that that might be a good idea for Bolthea, potentially, since his MP pool's pretty low and he has a lot of expensive buff spells right now. Oh, there's a Dragon Lich. How about Barsh, is that Dragon Lich still alive? There's only Necro Fiend here. Also, a few people here are confused. I'm starting to wonder if actually setting Penello to use Curaja on undead instead of Holy on Holy Weak things is better. So Holy costs 48. Okay, Curaja's a little more expensive, but it's an area attack. And most things tend to get one-shotted by it. Okay, so through here, there is something. Oh, there's the Dragon Lich. Guess it was in another room. I think Courage is also faster than, there's death going off. I think Courage is also faster than Holy, as far as, like, its animation goes, because Holy has a very slow animation, which can easily work against you. So I think there should be some way to get north here. Or to the east. Yeah, apologies, I'm just kind of fumbling in the dark as a certain crash level is named. Okay, level 64 on Varn. I will want as many level ups as I can get, because eventually we'll be going into an area that is very much, kind of like you want to be level 70-ish. Now I'm just going to wait for these black orbs to merge into the big one. Which made me think of something very, very weird. It made me think of, those normal gems will merge into a power gem. Yeah, I rock! Which... very few people are going to get that, but it's just like, it's, I think, a line that, Dan Hibiki says in one of the Puzzle Fighter or Gem Fighter games, For some reason, it always stuck out to me because I saw a screenshot of that line in a review magazine once, and I just thought it just sounded like such a weird and amusing line that it just stuck with me. Anyway, from this we get 45 black orbs, which I think should be enough to completely cover me for this floor. Okay, Pedestal of Night. This one right here takes 9. Okay, I think 45 is not quite enough, because 2 of the other pedestals require 15. Actually, no, I have 57 black orbs, because I still have some leftovers from the first area. And there we go. Now, with that, I want to see if that makes it easier to look around here and check if there actually was a chest that I missed. Well, at least that was not disease. But I do know that the chest that I am looking for is... it only has a 25% chance of spawning. But it contains, if it does spawn, an accessory that I have really, really been waiting to show off. So this pedestal, I think, requires 15 black orbs. So I might be able to preemptively light my way here. If I put in 10 and then 5... There we go, that's already lit up. That's going to make things a lot more convenient. So yeah, maybe building up a stock of black orbs in the first part of Subterra is for the best. Might make it easier to investigate the later areas. Okay, so here there's only 2 rooms, and there's a Fool's Facade in here as well. But I think it's in Umbra South that the thing that I'm looking for is. Yeah, nice knockback there. I just kind of got reminded that, yeah, I think it's only ranged weapons like guns and bows that can critical hit in this game, and melee weapons instead have the multi-attack mechanic. Okay. Oh, it's just dead bones. I was thinking there was like an elemental there. There is a rare game elemental that appears, I think, later on in Subterra. I know because it's called Vagrant Soul, which is a reference to Vagrant Story, another game by, I think, some of the same people who made this game. Never really played Vagrant Story or heard much about it, but this game does actually reference it on a few occasions, so I thought I may as well point that out. I think there's another enemy that's also, in this game that's also a reference to Vagrant Story, another rare elemental. Something that I actually didn't get a chance to mention last time is regarding XII. So in the PS2 version, XII apparently had different stats based on which floor you encountered it on. That was changed. In Zodiac, its stats are always consistent, but it has like much, much lower stats if it's encountered on, I think it was either the first or the last floor in the original game. But anyway, this one also requires 15. Which means I might actually have to restock my black orb soon, since the next one on this floor takes, it is 18, yes. So yeah, I'm gonna have to try and farm some more black orbs, I think. It is at the very least relatively easy to get them out of a massive black orb. I feel like the massive black orbs, like the ones that are marked on the map I'm using, I think that's more of a suggestion of like a massive black orb can spawn here, but it's not guaranteed. Ah yes, these things casting Reflect. They did that in Abreus Deadlands, and that became a bit of a problem at one point. I think Farn just tried to attack himself while confused there, but he blocked the attack on himself. Because, like, something that is actually, like, I don't know if I've ever really mentioned this before, but, I mean, I don't want to do this, but, yes, actually choosing to attack yourself is a valid option in this game. Which, like, for example, if you say had Excalibur, but also had the White Mask to absorb Holy, you can deliberately attack yourself to heal. So there are actually advantages, and like also you can hit yourself while you're inflicted with reverse status to heal yourself. There are legitimate advantages at some points to attacking yourself. I believe, yeah, that's a Fool's Facade. You just kind of got to poke around on all the walls to find out which ones are Fool's Facades and which aren't. I still love that name, Fool's Facade, rather than just, you know, fake wall. Just kind of sounds so much more interesting this way. I think hitting yourself with a measure to bestow a status buff is another tactic. They're just, like, I know that in some cases, you know, like, getting to this point, you could definitely accuse the game of playing itself with the gambits that I've set up, but it did take a while, and I feel like this game's kind of more about equipment and, like, actual, like, abilities and skills and managing those than it is about, you know, moment-to-moment action selection. I kind of see it a little bit more like the auto-attack system in Xenoblade Chronicles. Like, the game automates a process that you probably would be doing anyway, and leaves, like you know, that you would just be doing... Like, as in, like, you don't really waste time on actions that, like, you would have to manually select anyway. It's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna walk up to this enemy and attack it. And it saves your actual, you know, brain power for when you need to specifically choose certain commands. I admit, though, I don't really like the Hellworm and Yasmat as a concept, because for in general, the best strategy for those fights is just to find a gambit set that works, and then just leave the game on while you go and make a sandwich, because they just have so much health that you really can't afford to be paying attention all the time. Yeah. Okay, there is a massive... Oh, no. I realized too late that was a magic pot, and see that action thing on Vaan? Yeah, he's already swinging. That means that we're... Oh, this is gonna be bad. You know what? Yeah, I mean, we never really used Chaos before, I don't think. Magic Pot is shocked and dismayed! I have never seen that line before. That's actually pretty great. Yeah, Magic Pot begins casting Flare! That's a thing that can happen in this game. Oh, Penelo also only has 1 MP. So, what do you have, Chaos? You have Renew, you have Eroga, and you have Whirlwind and Tornado. Okay, let's see how much Whirlwind does. It's not taking any damage. I may actually just have to retreat here. But I really want that massive black orb before I go. 72 black orbs! I'm probably set for pretty much this entire area. I'm so sorry, Chaos. But, I may have to dismiss you just to show off what your ultimate attack does. Because I am getting the heck out of here. I am not fighting this thing. It seems to be taking, like, no damage from everything. I am Chaos. People have come from far and wide to kill me. None have succeeded. Now I shall show you why. Actually, okay, I think that might be an original FF reference. If you look at that, you'll notice that the colors of those 4 swords seem to correspond with the 4 themes from the first game. I'd like to think that's a reference, at least. And I'm guessing that did, yeah, that did absolutely nothing. So, we are running. Ow. Little too late for the running there, but flare, that's, yeah, we're gonna get smacked very hard by that flare. So let's retreat! Yes, I do very much appreciate the existence of something that I often refer to as the runaway button.
I can't.
It appears the magic pot followed us all the way here. Get me out of here, please. Thank you, I do not want to lose my 72 black orbs. I wouldn't lose, like, all my progress because of the autosave system, but still. Yes, let's leave that, that magic pot very firmly on the other side of that door. Yeah, here we go. Turtle Shell Choco enables casting of magics with Gil rather than MP. It also feels very in character for Balthier to be using something like that. Okay, let's investigate this now. Balthier and Fran are both very behind on levels, and I've been using Penelo way too much. I guess since she's my main healer, and these areas are fairly, you know, tough areas, so obviously you need a good healer here. Well, I guess Balthier's not as behind in levels anymore. Yeah, why not? I'll take that black orb. Because, yeah, this one, I said it before, this requires 18, so let's set 10 first. Then 5, and then another 3. Being able to preemptively light up these floors is just so convenient. I really wish that I had taken that approach in the first place, but anyway, through this ancient door we have, okay, so if we head south here, there may be a chest, potentially. There's also a dead bones. And, well, this is the problem with Excalibur Balthier, is that, Ash has a tendency to kill steal from him with her, healing on undead at this point. Take those where I can get them. Are the black orbs I have enough for, we need 21, 27, 15, and 12 for the next floor, so they might not be. Balthier keeps getting his kill stolen. And even if I tell him to target somebody like else, then it still may not work because because yeah, Curaja is area. I think there should be a Fool's Facade somewhere here. Yeah, right on there. Where is it? Somewhere. It's like on this wall somewhere. I think it's this one. Or am I in the wrong room for this? Oh, there's one here. Which leads directly south. Oh, I'm looking at the map for the wrong floor. Of course I am. I'm looking at the map for the next floor down. Oh, there's a massive black orb in here. We're gonna get even more black, like unnecessary black orbs, and Dead Bones X sounds like some kind of overly edgy, either an overly edgy alias or just like a really, really edgy, like, PlayStation game or something. Dead Bones X! I think I'm gonna wait for a few more enemies to die before I take that. So yeah, here... Oh yeah, that way. That should lead to something. I guess I'll pick this up before going in there. Only 21, but I probably have, like, enough. Like, how much is this hurting my... Yeah, my gill's going down a little bit, but I can easily sell all the loot I get in here afterwards. Okay. The loading screen. That worries me. But that chest doesn't look like a mimic, at least. Looks like there are, these, dragon liches in pretty much every corner here, but at least they're nowhere near as bad as, Draco zombies in Sacred Stones, which are, I still maintain, like, some of the worst enemies in all of Fire Emblem. Worse as in, like, not so much badly designed, but more in terms of just incredibly, frustrating to fight. An elixir, that'll replace the one that Magic Pot on an earlier floor took. And I think, is there anything else in this room? Doesn't look like it. With that, we should have explored most of Umbra. And that means I need to look up which chest has the thing that I'm looking for. Okay, that's interesting. So, the FF Wiki lists one chest that has a 5% chance of spawning, but is always this thing. And it lists it by number, and I don't know what that number corresponds to. However, there is a chest that is numbered like one lower than it, and it's the only chest that has a chance of containing an elixir, which means that I am guessing that this chest is in the room that I am currently in. I hope I'm not wrong about that, but the other map that I've got shows that there are 2 potential chests in this room. So I don't waste MP, I'll turn Gambits off. So I may simply have to keep reloading this room until that chest shows up. I hope going in and out of this door will do it. I mean, that's how it worked for the Yagyu Darkblade in the Great Crystal. I almost said Pharos for some reason there. To Gil. Okay, yes, it is definitely this room that I'm thinking of. 2 Gil doesn't really narrow the treasure chest down, because every chest that randomly contains Gil here will contain 2 Gil, on this floor at least. But I am looking in the right place, it's just a matter of waiting for it to spawn with a 5% chance. This is actually annoyingly one of the things that is easier to get in the original PS2 version, because there was a chest in Umbra North that always had this. Okay, that's one of the other treasures that chest can be. Over an hour later. That is a 5% chance of spawning, so it should be 1 in 20, but I feel like it took me much longer. The chest in the center of the room has a 70% chance of spawning, an 80% chance of containing Gil, and the 20% of the time that it doesn't contain 2 Gil, it contains either elixirs or the Pheasant Netsuke. Now, look how many elixirs I have now compared to how many I had before. I also have, I believe, 10 Pheasant Netsukes now? Ah, yeah, that took a while. But anyway, the chest spawns here. Because there's no map, it can be a little hard to see where I am, but it's this particular pillar. You have to head, like, directly south, like directly sort of diagonally from the door. And it's right near this pillar. And it is... There it is! Niho Paloa. And if you get that, that chest does not respawn. There are actually 2 much easier ways to get that item. The first is a chest in the Henna Mines that has a 25% chance of spawning, much better than this. And the second is via the Bazaar, which is technically obtainable pretty early if you know which loot to farm from. But this thing, I can finally show this. Because I've been talking about that, not just in this playthrough, but in multiple, like, game playthroughs I have done on YouTube, because I never got this accessory the first time I played this game as a kid, but I've heard stories about this. And it's conceptually one of my favorite items in any RPG, and I've never got to try it out until now. So I'm going to be turning my gambits off, and okay, the fact that you're undead is going to make this a little awkward, but the way that this item works is it means that healing items do the opposites. Throw a potion at an enemy, it damages them. Phoenix Downs inflict instant death. And if you throw a remedy at an enemy with all remedy laws... Where are my remedies? Oh, they're all the way at the bottom. I've gone through them pretty quickly, I used to have 99. But if you throw a remedy at an enemy, it will give them every status ailment they are not immune to. Yep, that skeleton now has poison, slow, immobilize, silence, and oil. So yes, that is something you can do with remedies in this game, with this accessory. So yeah, let's do this to the other guy. Items are also nearly instantaneous as well. So I'm going to turn both these gambits off for this, because otherwise there's a very decent chance that he's going to end up... nice damage there, YouTube, but there's a very decent chance that he's going to end up using remedies on allies if they get statused, and that will just cause them to die horribly. Well, not die horribly, it will cause them to suffer a very long, slow death. Uh-oh. Oh, that thing actually went down before it got reflected. Anyway, so this is a very, very, very fun item. But I want to see if I can find something that isn't undead so that I can, like, show what happens if you use, like, a Phoenix Down or a potion. Like, logically speaking, using a potion, let's say, on an undead with this in effect should heal them. Yes, it does. Like, notice how that healed instead of did damage, as would normally be the case for undead. Yep, that is because of the Nehopolar, which so looking it up, it seems like that's actually a Hawaiian reference. It refers to a particular kind of necklace that I think is made out of hair and shark bone. Okay, right now Fran has no gambits to cast, to use items, so I'm gonna have her take this for now. Yes, as I said, you can get this a lot earlier via the Bazaar, and if you do, it is incredibly game-breaking, especially since it works on bosses and, like, basically everything. And now, again, I want to find something that's not undead, but I highly doubt that I can. Something else about it as well is that people say you only really need one of these. Once you've got one, then anyone in the party can use it to, you know, do its crazy things. And I'm gonna travel down the Dais of Ascendance to Abyssal, the final floor of the Pharos Subterra. What will we find down here? Will we find anything to test out our new thing on? It's mostly undead, so not really. But if we do end up fighting the Seer today, then I might be able to test out this item against it and its summons, which is going to be very much an enjoyable experience. Basically, if they're vulnerable to a status ailment, they'll get it. Kind of like an alternative to the Indigo Pendant. It's sort of even better, but like the character who uses it has to have all the remedy laws for that to work. Or, you know, you can just throw serums at enemies to give them disease. So, okay, this one right here, sorry to interrupt your faith there, this one right here should require 21 black orbs. 96. Yeah, I've got enough to light up this entire area. I do kind of hate the trial and error aspect to this puzzle, though, and the fact that you lose all of your spent black orbs. I guess the reason why they're so generous with them from the massive black orb is because of the fact that you can potentially lose a lot of them at once. Okay, so heading this direction should get me to... Like, honestly, there's really not a whole lot, like, to explore here. I'll try and check out and see if there's anything valuable, like, to find in chests, but honestly, I don't want to have to farm for any more chests than that. That's, like, pretty much the, Sky Jewel, interesting. Haven't really, heard of that item before, but yeah, that's enough item farming for me for one, like... I was about to say lifetime, but I just remembered that the Ultimate Esper, which we haven't fought yet, has a 6% steal that you can farm from, that's very good, and I may have to try and farm for that. Oh! There is a 10% spawn chest in here that has the ribbon. I probably do want to farm for that, actually. Oh, and another one that has the Wither technique, too. Oh no! There's also a chest somewhere down on this floor that has a 2% chance of spawning in the first place. An 80% chance of containing Gil, and in that 20% of the time, 20% of 2% that it doesn't contain Gil, its rare treasure with the diamond armlet equipped is the Great Trango, one of the Zodiac exclusive ultimate weapons. That's the aforementioned 6% steal from the Ultimate Esper, and I would much rather do it that way, thank you very much. So, I am going to have to look into where that ribbon chest is. It's not this, is it? Oh, 3 gil. Okay, that doesn't really narrow it down, though, because 3 gil, I think, is what every chest in here gives, if it ends up being gil. Yes, everything here is 3 gil. Northwest room, apparently. I think I might actually be in the right area for it. Oh, and there is a Fool's Facade here. Thrill. Yeah, obviously that's not the ribbon chest, because the ribbon chest is a guaranteed ribbon. Okay, I think this is gonna lead to, according to my map, a room that should have a chest in the middle. This might actually be the expose room? Wither, I mean. Okay, yeah, I actually think that Wither is in here, so, excuse me while I end up farming for that. There we go, okay, that didn't take too long. It has literally double the chance of spawning than the opposite day accessory. Oh, okay. Well, I guess the game's taking pity on me after I spent so long getting the other thing. I will take that RNG. The RNG giveth, the RNG taketh away. So, the ribbon is a very famous accessory in the Final Fantasy series. In most games it's in, oh, Balthier doesn't even have the license for it, immune various status. I'm pretty sure this makes you immune to basically everything. And it has its own unique license on the license board. Just like, I'm so sorry, I really hope this isn't, offending any Hawaiians, but I can't, I'm not sure how to pronounce, the other accessory's name properly, so, yeah, I just like to call it the opposite day accessory, but, hi there. Oh, everybody's got, disable and reverse on them, which means I'm gonna have to actually walk in here and wait for this to wear off before we can actually heal ourselves, because we can't even use items with disable. But yeah, what I was saying is, just like that, it is also contained, in the Henna Mines, where, it has a slightly higher chance of spawning. You can also get a ribbon via the Hunt Club, as well as a steal from, the enemy that is literally called level 99 Red Chocobo, which is exactly what it says on the tin. You know, at some point during this post-game session, I may actually have to fight that just to show what it is, because I've talked about it so many times. Looking at the rest of Subterra's page on the wiki, it seems like I've already got all the treasures on this floor that are worthwhile, besides the Great Trango, so all I really need to do at this point is just to light up all of the pedestals in here, and then I can access the final area of Subterra and fight the Seer. So, let's just go ahead and do that. Okay, this one, how many does this one need? Let me check my map. This one requires 15. Pretty easy number to hit, actually. So yeah, it seems like you do actually have to light up all of these in order to unlock the next floor. Which makes sense. They wouldn't just let you go straight to the next floor, for nothing after all. That room that previously had the Wither technique, though, there is a rare game in there, but it only shows up after the Seer has been defeated, so I don't need to worry about that just yet, but I will need to come back afterwards, because there's also a second rare game that spawns in the RNG room when you've defeated that first rare game. This one here requires an astounding 27 black orbs, but I still have more than enough for it and the last one. There was a dragon lich here. It's gone now. And this one requires 12 black orbs. I really don't see how you would be able to figure out the numbers without a guide. Thankfully, this does tell you in overabundance for naught they are spent, so it does at least, well, I mean in fairly flowery language, but it does at least warn you about that gimmick. I skipped over that text when I first visited the first floor, so yeah, I missed that. That's entirely on me. But still, it's a little bit annoying that you're forced to rely on trial and error for it. So I think I'll go into the fight, because I think the fight will immediately start once we go to the next floor. Hi there. And that means there's probably more. Yes, there is. But yeah, I'll start out with this party and set up a whole lot of buffs first, of course. And I'm gonna go into this fairly blind, but I will be trying to throw items at everything I can, just to see what status ailments work on these things.